Dobre, ideme na to, dneska sa zoberieme rýchlosťou svetla. Máme tu skontrolujem zvukovú stopu. Dobre, ideme na to, dneska sa zoberieme rýchlosťou svetla. Dobre, tak začíname. Začíname 814. relaxačný tréningový deň 10.2.2026. Je útorok, tady sa zhýba žltý 15, 15, 14, 14, 13, 13, 12, 12, 11, 11. Predné, zadné, zadné, predné, predné, zadné, zadné, predné, predné, zadné. Začíname 17, 19, píče sa mu 16, 19, púšťa, píče sa rovná ako podmas. Tak začíname 17, 19 nášho času, klaséria 15, 15, predné, zadné, zhýba žltý.
We got the patch notes for the Korean server for Throne and Liberty, and well, they've actually updated them since then, adding a ton of balance changes for the different weapons, including a pretty important fix to Thunderclad bombing and a balance adjustment to the Dallas Noah daggers. People are getting sick and tired of being petrified all the time. And otherwise, there are a few other notable changes, along with a lot of monster damage value adjustments for a ton of weapon skills. Let's go through the details. For us on Global, we'll most likely get all these changes this following Thursday, but it's not yet confirmed. Wait till tomorrow when we get our official patch notes. But these details were updated just earlier today. Thank you to this guy for pointing it out to me. You can see their revisions here, how they've done some skill adjustments along with balancing. This comes with all the other things we've already mentioned in our previous video, like war games, the adjustments to Tower of Greed, the housing, some new furniture you'll be able to craft, Amateur Expedition updates, along with randomizing some fashion, new lithograph entries, and here we go. We get for the Greatsword just a quick adjustment here, and then we can see the start of these monster damage value adjustments. I assume this is simply to make it so that the skill feels more impactful when you upgrade it. On the maximum level, it's still going to be no different. So literally just for more of a progression thing. It's going to start out dealing significantly less damage, but if you upgrade it, you'll feel those upgrades to be a lot more impactful now with this change. So that's across a lot of these different skills. Again, at the endgame level where we all have max skills, this makes absolutely no difference. But then we look here for the dagger. They've gone and changed that brutal incision with the thundering bomb spec. No longer will it be so broken with the scaling of bonus damage. They state it as fixing an issue where it was affected by additional damage per stack. So it was indeed a bug. And even though people were claiming it worked like this since the beginning of time, all along, it was indeed a bug and shouldn't have worked like this. And it's only become really noticeable since our bonus damage levels have basically been doubled, if not tripled, with the recent bonus damage rework, where it no longer is affecting a lot of these multi-hit abilities. So what this means here is they've gone and changed up the description a bit, adding that additional effects from additional damage are applied. So bonus damage will not affect it more than once. This is then correct compared to what we had before, where normally it should have dealt, in this example, 11,000 damage, but it was in fact dealing upwards of 24,000 damage, because all this bonus damage was getting multiplied 21 times for every single stack of lightning infusion that you had on the target. And I had tested this extensively per stack, and it was scaling properly, and what that meant was you were dealing over double the normal amount of damage you should have done with this skill. And to make matters worse is that damage was barely being able to be mitigated by any normal player, because the only counter was damage reduction, which meant people could go around and nuke you who didn't have damage reduction with it, because that bonus damage being multiplied by 21 times meant it would ignore all your other defenses bar evasion. To put this into perspective, again, that same example, you should be dealing like 11,000 damage with this ability, but you were actually dealing 24,000. Now we go into PvP. Say our target has 3,500 defense. We're now hitting only just over 5,000 damage against them. But with this broken bonus damage scaling, you are still dealing over 18,000 damage, which is over 3.5 times more damage against them. But now with this new change, you will see that's quite a bit different. It isn't a full nerf down to just over 5,000 damage. It's more like down to 7,000, 6,800 in this example. And that's because they are increasing the raw values of this skill. This is to compensate a little bit with that scaling, particularly I believe for PvE. So we've gone from that 43% plus 14 to 58% plus 19. But still, overall, you will deal a massive amount less damage, particularly in PvP with this skill. They've also gone and boosted the back attack damage, as you see here, from 107%
Dojdeme na to, posledná 5. séria.
along with
Oficiálne 11-11, neoficiálne 12-12.
to 250%.
Oficiálne 11-11,
We won't
predne
notice that
západ.
much in PvP, but in PvE, the back attack now got 11% boost and the base hit over a 13% boost. But in PvP, this is totally going to be felt like a big nerf. You won't be going around dealing obscene amounts of unmitigatable damage, nuking anybody who doesn't have damage reduction. So all around, that's a great change in terms of PvP balancing. But in addition to that, what a lot of people have been complaining about as of late is the petrification from the death.
Dobre. Je to za nami, čas je dobrý. Ideme ukončiť sezónu. Je to za nami, zrekapitulujeme si to. ...814. relaxačný tréningový deň za nami, bol 10.2. 10.2.2026, útorok, skončili sme 17.27. Pič som už 16.27, každému podľa gusta podľa svastiky. My sme skončili na času 17.27. Segmentoval 8 minút a 25 sekúnd, stredný čas.